Welcome to the evening farm drive. It's so fast. Like yesterday, I was being told that it's Thursday. I'm like, no, it's Wednesday. At Yapana, it's Thursday, and today is Friday. I can't believe that the week has gone so fast.
I remember you were planning something and you were telling me for the next 2 days, and I tell you no, today is Thursday. So we had to confirm from someone else.
And even, I had to even check my calendar. That's where maisha imenifikisha, my friend.
Unaacha ikiwa saa moja kwa saa sita.
Noma. Yani,
it's moving so fast.
Masaa ni machache na kazi ni mingi.
Kazi ni mingi. Mambo ni mengi.
Mambo ni mengi.
Masaa ni machache.
Kuna mtu aliniambia ati manze nikitoa hii, oh my god. Ati nywele zangu ziko white. Ati my hair is white.
Akukwambia vizuri. Imagine ako kushopo.
Hater.
No, that hiyo ilikuwa savage hiyo.
Ni sawa tu. Mungu anamuona.
Akukwambia vizuri.
Tampeleka kego.
Unafaa utafute comeback ya kumwambia sasa.
Ngojea, utafutia kuanzia next week. Anyways, thank you so much, Christine, for coming to join me on the evening farm drive just to have a chilled Friday. And by the way, it's end month.
I tell you, 2nd of December.
Unanipeleka wapi?
Wapi?
Bado umekuwa shocked. Unasema taka ni church tu.
Si nimeuliza ndo ukwe specific.
Hapana, sasa kwa specific.
Mimi nichague.
Wewe chagua.
Wewe basi ngojea.
Mali yote.
Wewe ngojea tu, wewe ngojea. Nitakutumia tu message.
Text. You promise? You've said it on live TV.
I have said it.
We shall see on Monday. Because I couldn't text.
Sasa nikukupeleka mali uswim ni sawa ama wewe maji kipita ya karai?
I have water phobia.
Okay. Now we'll look for something else
Probably
to do.
if you take me into a warm pool or a hot pool.
Hey?
And then you try something different like a red pool.
Hot tub, no,
or
we're not. I'll look for something else. I have changed my mind.
You're passing. Interesting. So welcome to the evening farm drive, and today we want to talk about Kenya's imports and export opportunities, the untapped potential. There's so many farmers who we've visited over the years, over the months, who are stuck with most of their produce from the farm, claiming that they don't have markets, and there are those people who probably have been drought stricken, and they're like, we don't have the food. We have the cash, but we don't have food. So we want to explore these Kenya's imports and exports opportunities,
of course,
the untapped potential. If you are a farmer, would you choose to import or export?
I think I'll choose to export.
How? Why?
Especially mangoes from our area. I find that during this season, especially from December, at the end of November, we get they're not really ripe, but they're just mature. So they're exported. I think they make good money. And you also provide, because you need workforce. You need them to pack, to label them, and then you also need the transportation. So I'll be offering job opportunities to so many people. At the same time, I'll be trying to make a profit. So yeah.
But I think it's tedious. Like, how do you go about even the process of exporting? Because you can't just wake up one morning and say, me, manze, sina market Kenya, so me, I'm taking my produce probably, even just right here in Uganda.
I think in Uganda, there's definitely a process. Because even you look at Twitter and you see that people are there and they're trying to ensure that agriculture in Kenya, we follow the right procedure. So they're at the border. CAT, when I talk about office, they are there. But there is a procedure that you need to follow. We'll get to discuss it later on. So you just need to follow that procedure so that you can be an exporter of agricultural products. But I think it's both also. Because some things maybe you'll need to import as well.
Yes.
But I would love to be an exporter. Sana.
Me?
Avocado, mangoes, you know those things.
Me, I love my heart. And my heart beats the way it is. I don't want pressure.
Why?
I don't want pressure.
Why?
You can imagine you've probably outsourced for maybe 1,000 tons of even those mangoes. You've gone through the whole process, and then once you get to the airport, when you're just about to export, you tell them don't meet the standard or they are not of quality.
I think also you need to involve the people who check the quality before you get there. Before. Yeah? So for the sake of your heart, do it before.
How long does it take? Like, you can imagine if you have those people come to the various farms you're getting your produce from, before it is harvested until the time it gets to the airport and it goes to where it's going. Won't that produce be ready?
Well, for what I have seen, well, with mangoes especially, even the transportation, the truck is refrigerated. So it ensures once you freeze something, it's not ripening again because there's no bacteria and the elements that ripen probably a mango. So due to that, it doesn't ripen that fast. So it will hit the market. It's still not yet ripe. So that is why they need it mature, not ripe. It's just mature. So that is why before we start eating and enjoying mangoes, they have already been sold. Yeah.
Interesting. That's the conversation we want to have. There's an interview I had with a member of the Kenya Fresh Produce Association of Kenya. Let's just listen in and get to understand the exact process of exporting fresh produce from Kenya to other countries, what you need to have, the details you
documentation
need to have. And yes, the standard, what is the required standard for the export market. Let's listen in and then we'll be back shortly.
That we export to the EU and UK, the EU bit of it to the USA, and we are looking to venture into the Asian market, especially the Chinese and South Korean markets.
Can you talk about some of the products that Kenya exports to these countries, because there's been a biggest challenge of the kind of chemicals that are used on the produce. What can you tell us about how the process is like, how if someone wants also to start exporting their produce, what procedure should they follow?
The main market destinations, as I mentioned, we mostly export to the EU and UK, and also to the UAE and Australia, and looking to venture into South Asia and also USA. The process of exporting is not as straightforward as people may think, because they are usually market requirements. We call them sanitary and phytosanitary requirements. We have abbreviated as SPS. So from the Kenyan side, what you need is to have a company which you need to get export license issued by the HCD, Horticultural Crop Directorate. And you also need to be in the ECS, the Electronic Certification System, which is run by KEFIS. They'll come into your farm and inspect, and if you have systems that fit into what the market requires or the needs of this market destination, then you'll be allowed to export. So after all that, then you need to be a member of an association which represents the interests like lobbying and advocacy. EFIC does that. We also do market linkage, we do capacity building, and also support you to comply to the various standards. The most common one is French beans. We also have broccoli, as you can see from behind us. These are runner beans.
And welcome back to the evening farm drive. I don't know if my director can hear me, if we have sound. Yes, welcome to the evening farm drive with me. I hope you've gathered a thing or two from that interview where that member from the Kenya Fresh Produce Association was giving the details. For you to be part of the exporters community. Yes,
Wow.
That's one of the requirements. But the government has set out a plan to transform Kenya into a newly industrialized middle-income country, providing a high quality of life to all its citizens by 2030 in a clean, secure environment.
Wow.
The key enablers of Vision 2030 were identified as infrastructure, ICT, science, technology, and innovation, land reforms, among others. Now, under the economic pillar, 6 priority sectors were selected as the anchors. These are tourism, agriculture and livestock, wholesale and retail, trade, manufacturing, financial services, business process, offshoring, and IT-enabled services. All these pillars are kind of like related.
They're interconnected somehow, yes.
Somehow into agriculture.
Wow.
What's your take on this vision by the government, 2030?
2030.
We only have like 80. No, we're already in December. So maybe 7 years.
7 years. I don't think we're there yet.
Really?
Yes.
Why?
We are lagging behind because if we see that we're still trying to make tea reforms, and I believe tea and coffee are among the top products that are being exported. So we're not yet there because we should not be having conversations about tea farmers. They're not well paid. They're still trying to get the policies done well. So we're not yet there.
I know some of the coffee farmers in Kiambu actually cut down their coffee trees. And they started putting up flats because of poor prices.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly. So I think we're not yet there, but the policies need to be set down and set straight. You need this, and it should not be a hassle for someone to get their payment, because we are not. Imagine Vision 2030, and we're in 2023 already. So that's like 7 years down the line. So what are we going to do in 7 years that we haven't done in 13 years?
But you see, when you talk about poor prices, it does not only apply in the tea and coffee sectors.
Exactly.
You can, even in your place, the mangoes you're talking
about. The mangoes are still, yes.
When you get these so-called aggregators, how much do they buy at? And compared to if you sold those mangoes you yourself?
Actually, let me tell you what happens. They go and buy the mango from the farmer because probably, let's say I want to export and I'm the one buying the mangoes. I'll go to the farmer and I'll buy the mango at 6 shillings. And then once I export, I get the largest portion of the profit. But you see now, I am oppressing the farmer already.
Yes.
So I think it's also a problem with the people who are doing the job, not actually the farmers also, because the farmer, he just wants to sell his product. And you come and tell him 6 shillings.
Actually, 6 shillings is on a higher note. There's a farmer I visited, he was doing avocado, the Hass avocado, and the aggregator was buying the avocado at 2 shillings. Just one avocado.
Imagine.
And then he goes and sells that avocado at 50 shillings.
Imagine that. And have you seen, even online, have you seen the price probably of one avocado in US? Imewekewa dollars hapo mbele. Ukishafanya hesabu umekula avocado 3, hiyo ni ploti nyumbani. Imagine you're eating avocado. You're trying to eat avocado in US.
On that note, I want to start exporting. Lakini sasa I'll need to go uko kwa market because I don't want, because these aggregators are way too many.
Exactly.
There are those ones who pick from the farm to the market. Then there are those ones who pick from the market to the airport. And then from the airport, the ones who now the real exporters.
Yes. So you see now those aggregators. Kwanza, the ones who pick from the farm and they bring now to the exporter. Oh my God, they oppress because they even buy at 3 shillings.
But that is that's it's to another extent, like even if you're trying to oppress someone, like really
that's too much, right? Yes.
That's way too. And you can imagine that farmer has been waiting for this crop to mature. Like how long does mangoes take to fruit?
3-4 months. Because I remember there's a season where you really have to be there and chase the small monkeys. What do you call them? The small ones. You're there with your bladder. Unarusha mawe tu. Fair. Mbio. And that is what you do very early in the morning, because they'll come hide and start eating the mangoes. And they pick the best ones. They know how to pick.
Now I understand why you were looking at me when I was eating my sour mango.
Yes.
We would
I'll-
later like, no, nini nasumbua huyu msichana.
Exactly. But I'll bring you many.
Kindly bring me a whole gunia.
Oh, I will. And they're apple mangoes, very sweet.
Apple mangoes.
Very
Are they
sweet.
grafted?
Of
Did you
course.
do a research on them?
Don't start. We are on air. Don't start. Wachana na mimi. Wachana na maisha yangu.
So, what is the main agricultural export of Kenya? Like, I know you've been seeing on Twitter, and even from the videos that you've watched. What would you say are the main agricultural produce that most farmers export?
Oh, there are many. Actually, I have like a list of the top 10.
Hey, top 10.
Hey.
Hey, si sawa.
Sicheze. Hapa. Hatujakuja jokes.
Okay.
I have like a list
Let's
of the
look
top
at-
10. Maybe I just mention a few.
Yes.
We have coffee, tea, and spices.
Those are the top 3.
The top. No, that is in one list.
But
That
the
is one.
spices, they fall under this category.
No, they've just been classified that way.
Okay.
And those 3 actually bring in 1.5 billion US dollars
Yearly, annually.
annually. And that they contribute to at least 21.8%. So that is the largest. Okay. Then we have live trees, plants, and flowers.
Trees.
Yes.
People are exporting trees.
Yes, they are.
Ah.
Yes.
Usifanye niende huko kwa airport. Which kind of trees? Like fruit trees or indigenous trees or
Yes, there are also some trees that cannot be found in other countries, but they are in Kenya.
that's one untapped potential that people overlook.
Yes. What, don't you ask yourself why you find that tourists have come into Kenya and when they go to the tourist shops, wananunua mwiko?
Yeah.
You see the mwiko and they buy the artisan crafts that have been crafted there
Yes.
because that tree is not found there.
Or probably they've never seen it.
They have never seen it, of
Which
course.
world are they living in? They're the ones who are contributing to climate change.
Yes, they are. But again, you see now, it is what it is.
I am interested. This one I'll have to
Live
follow up.
trees.
Yes.
Yes.
Trees for export. Okay.
And that brings in $805.2 million.
You mentioned trees and
Live trees, plants, and cut flowers.
lakini kizungu mnakuanga nayo mingi. Sasa live trees ni gani na dead trees ni gani?
Okay, dead trees in ile imekatwa already, like it's like a log. And then live tree, iko, yani.
Okay, it's living.
Yes, it's living. Yes, thank you. It's living. It's living. So, you see now that contributes $805.2 million.
What?
Yes.
Live trees.
And cut flowers.
I'm seeing our CEO somewhere. Atija people who are exporting live trees.
Yes.
Okay, interesting. The next one.
And then we have vegetables. Vegetables, that
That one
is
now I know.
302.4 million.
But then what kind of vegetables?
Vegetables. We have a variety.
I'm assuming that we don't export skuma wiki, spinach, cabbage.
Where do you find it there? I mean, the ones that are there
They
are
don't
not.
have like farms or.
They have even kitchen gardens. They have. They have. But you see now, for them, it's a little bit different as compared to the ones in Kenya. You remember there was a show I was telling you, if you would go to US, you would just pack your skuma wiki and spinach. It is there, but the taste is different. You get, our soil is so much different and better.
Yes, but probably I'd just say, let's not hide it. Theirs is GMO and ours is the local one.
They have been given an option. Just say that. They have been given an option.
Talking about it, there's a place in Europe where when you go into a supermarket, you'll find there's one shelf that is labeled organic, and then there's the other shelf that is labeled GMO.
Yes. That is, so you're given an option.
Yes.
Okay. But again, ours is better than it is there. So we definitely export. Okay.
Yes.
So, and we have fruits and nuts.
Yes, I know macadamia nuts. But then why is it that Kenya exports a large bunch of its macadamia nuts to Europe, only to go back and buy the processed goods? Is it that we don't have the mechanization to process our own nuts?
I was reading an article and someone was saying we have the raw materials, they have the machinery, and he had stated that China has this and UK has this, Canada has this, so we are the go-between. So they need our raw materials to give us the end product. But we should try and have our own machinery and factories that make the high-end products.
Yes. Actually, it would earn the country more if
A
we were
lot.
exporting the finished
A
products.
lot, a lot, a lot.
What is it that we don't have?
Again, research, scientists.
No, that one I would fund. That one I would fund.
Why are you biased in your funding?
I'm not biased.
No.
You see,
No.
I'm seeing the
Potential.
The potential.
Mhm.
You've shown me the product.
Mhm.
The only thing that we are lacking is the machinery.
The machinery.
Help us to process this thing. That one, I'll even do a harambe.
And again, I think we also need better policies, to govern the products as well.
Yes.
So that we find that no one is being oppressed along the way. Hakuna mwenye analia, ai nilipeana lakini sasa hakuna kitu inatoka. You see,
Because I'm just imagining a farmer who has planted has avocado and he has sold his avocado at maybe 3 or 5 shillings. Only for it to come back as processed. It has been taken outside. I never knew you usually purchase these things in the supermarket.
Which ones?
The cleansers, the facial scrub, hair cream.
Actually, no. Funny enough, speaking of which, I like using natural herbs. For example, for my face, I use coconut oil or avocado oil. You see the avocado ile iko karibu kuharibika, the one that is black.
Okay.
I just take it, remove the peels, put it in a pan, and I slow cook it until it removes the oil. Then I take a cloth and sieve it. I have my avocado oil. I can cook it. I can apply it on my face, on my body, on my hair. You see? So for face also, I use cassil powder.
Okay.
Very nice. So it forms you just put a little bit on your hand and some water and it forms. You apply it on your face.
And you're good to go.
You're good to go.
But there are people like me.
Kuna nyinyi sasa.
Okay, Nivea, cocoa butter.
I don't. I do not. I think they are overrated.
Really?
On my end.
They're not overrated. There are people who have sensitive skin.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm not saying that mine is sensitive, but yes.
I hear you.
They prefer the processed. Yes, we are on the list.
I hear you,
yes.
but
We need to do the maths of how much.
Fruits and nuts. That is 282.3 million. Million.
Okay.
And that is in US dollars, not even in Kenya money.
Okay.
Everything I'm telling you is in US dollars. 282.3 million US dollars. Niwachane na point nikupe ingine. Aya 282 basi. Okay, we have minerals, fuels, and this is including oil. This brings
and we are also exporting oil.
No, we have the oil exporting countries, the OPEC countries. We have that side. But on our end, no. But there was a time in Turkana there was potential oil. What happened? We'll
visit Turkana.
We'll go back to that.
Yes.
Okay, then we have the minerals. These are the ores, like the precious stones, slag and ash. That gives in 258.6 million. So that's like 257.
You said
ores, slag and ash. 250, let's say 7.
57.
Yes, million. Yes,
Dollars.
US dollars.
Okay.
Yes.
I have an issue with those ones, the iron and those ores.
Yeah.
Because it's destroying the environment.
Yes.
And it's bringing a lot of money.
A lot of it. So I think that is my list, the top 10. There you have it.
Most of it is agriculture based. But you've not mentioned horticulture, some of the horticulture crops.
Yes, but what I did is just when you focus on this, it's much better. You see now, like vegetables, that gets into that as well. Yeah. So it's a little bit of broad, but it's just that, and those are the top 10. And imagine how much they're bringing in, and we have not focused on others.
That's very ironical because there's an article we were looking at today in a newspaper, and we were seeing that Kenya is exporting maize to produce ugali
Imagine.
in Europe, and,
Imagine.
and yet we're importing maize that we don't have maize in Kenya.
Exactly. So you see, now that is the irony. That is like the elephant in the room. So mahindi ya kuexport mumetoa wapi?
Ebu ask them.
Mnatoa wapi?
Rewind them, selector.
Mahindi ya kuexport mumetoa wapi? We have not. It's like you're giving out food and you cook food and then you don't eat. You give it all out. Okay?
Yeah.
And you expect to get money. So if you get money, where are you going to? I mean, it doesn't even add up.
It's not adding
1 + 1 inakuwa 11. 1 + 1 is not becoming 2. It's just becoming 11.
Yeah.
Because hiyo mahindi inatoka wapi? And our farmers are saying, no, sisi sasa hatujapewa pesa. And we also have some of the corn artists who have come in and they are conning people. They're telling them, I'm going to take you through the process. You give me this amount of money. And that farmer has maize, but they want to forgo the process that is supposed to be there. So someone comes in and poses as a KRA agent, and they swindle you money. You don't have money and you have not sold your maize.
There's someone who was telling me a lot of these imports are usually, the deals are usually struck at sea.
Yes.
Why? Is it because they are substandard?
I think probably because, again, it's there we have the treaties of the seas, but again, you see, it's not as strict as much because we also have open waters.
Yeah.
So that is considered like no man's land. Who is going to find you there? Once you're there, you can go to this country, you can go to this country.
Yeah.
And that is why you see sometimes even we have some bad products getting into other countries
Yes.
and not our country. You see, so if you see you have this product and you can divert it, you take it to another country. And you know very well it is not fit for human consumption. Yeah.
So that brings me now to the question before we'll be taking a quick breather, pay some bills. But before we do that, what would you advise probably the government or even just farmers? What strategy do they need to do to probably export more of our produce? What policies need to be put in place? What can farmers do? Should they join cooperatives or form a group, an exporters group, so that we can even upscale? We have more exports vis-a-vis less imports.
First of all, let me just start with the farmers. If you want, my mom always tells me, if you want to walk fast, walk alone. But if you want to go far, work as a group. So this means that the farmers should come in and work as a group so that we know we are planting this product. If it's mangoes, our mangoes are going to be up to this standard. Okay? And in that way, it is better to approach an institution, the institution that is supposed to help you export as a group. It is much cheaper and it is much better. And ensure that you share the profits equally. You see, so that's better, and you will have more produce, of course. So the people you were saying that are the go-betweens are not going to come to this farm and then go to another one, no, because you're working as a group. Again, the government has to ensure that they put up the right policies. The person who's coming to buy from the farmers, are you buying it at a very good price? Because you have to ensure they have been there. They have tilled the land, they have used fertilizer, they have bought the seedlings, and they have ensured that they're in good state. So the policies that are put in place should be in order to help the farmer. Okay? Because the government is there to help. In as much as it is there to put rules and tax and all that, it's supposed to help the mwananchi. And in this case, it is, you remember during campaigns, walikuwa naitwa Wanjiko. Yes. Huyo Wanjiko. Okay? That is where they need to see you. Because they need policies that are favorable to them.
Yes. And even apart from the policies, I also believe that they need to create more awareness, because most of the food wastage, and I know the farm girls were talking about food wastage, is usually wasted because farmers are usually cry at there is no market. But there are various market avenues. Like if the government, county governments had like sessions just to create awareness on this untapped potential. Like I didn't know we usually export live trees.
We do. We do.
I'm yet to encounter one farmer who is doing that. That's interesting.
Very.
It's like daring. Mm?
But again, it doesn't mean that because some people like doing that, and then they wanaingia, unaona ukifanya kazi unafanya na kichwa, mkono, mguu. So
fully.
we end up cutting down all our trees.
Wow.
So we need to also preserve the environment, conserve the environment as well. And again, funny enough, Kenya is at 14.9% in import dependency.
Okay.
So that means we depend on imports at 14.9%. But when it comes to self-sufficiency, how we provide for ourselves as a country, we are at 88.4%. So you see there's a space that we have left.
Yes.
There's almost 12%. 12%. That 12%, that one is the one that makes a difference. That 12% is where you say we have areas where there's drought. We are areas that have no plants. We have areas that people have no food. So the government also needs to balance that. So at least we rise our self-sufficiency to 90 or 90 something percent. Then the imports, we reduce the percentage.
Yeah.
Maybe we reach 9%.
Even 9 is on a higher level. Probably 5.
5%, okay? So that means we'll be self-sufficient. And once we are self-sufficient, believe you me, everyone will be happy.
Yeah. On that note, we'll be taking a quick breather, and I want to tell you some good news today. The Farmers Media team will be at the holiday resort.
Wow.
It's the holiday season, and people are trying to find a place where they can just go hang out. And it being a Friday today, we'll be at the Athi Holiday Resort. It's based along at the river, and there's a lot will be sharing with you the Athi Holiday Resort. What the resort is all about. There's a swimming pool. There's some very nice nyama choma.
Oh, the swimming pool we were talking about.
A place where you can just, it's just
a chilling spot.
It's a chilling spot. Like, when you go there, it's like a hiding place. How can I say it? It's a hideout.
Yes, a hideout.
It's a home away from home. Like, the ambience there is just cool, and everything, like, the food, the meals, the rooms there, they have the conference facilities. So we will be touring the Athi Holiday Resort, and we are welcoming you this weekend to come party with us at the Athi Holiday Resort. So we'll be taking a short breather, take you into the Athi Resort, and when we come back, we'll be discussing more about the untapped opportunities in the import and export markets in the agricultural sector. Do stay with us.
Eggplant is a popular versatile vegetable that is glossy and purple in color. When it's cut, you will find a meaty white flesh dotted with small clusters of beige seeds. The unripe fruit is consumed as a cooked vegetable. Eggplant is a multitasker that can take on different and delicious forms. Eggplants are a great source of vitamins and minerals.
Mutinde. Si kama sisi tunajitanga hapa sijui majina zingine zenye zinakaa Chinese.
Gadi.
Ama kesho tutasikia umeanza kujiita Christy.
I'm still getting, bado sijatoa kucha kwa gunia ama kwa mfuko.
Okay.
Nikitoa takuja na pseudonym.
Yeah, so ubonaje your place at the resort? Would you want to visit?
I would. But the swimming pool, no.
Why?
I think I have a bad experience with swimming pools. A friend of mine, when I was a little bit younger, he jumped into the pool, but he didn't go with the hands. He went with the frontal body.
Wow.
So his lungs were busted by the impact of the water.
Oh,
So, yeah, so I have a bad experience. I don't like it. But oceans, yes. I can do oceans, but not swimming pools. That's the irony. No, don't laugh.
Really?
Yes.
Yes. Now take us through some of the stories that are making headlines on the global scene and internationally. Because you're talking about exporting of live cheese.
Yes, and just to have a look, someone here is saying China supports Africa increase export capacity, and it strengthens cooperation in inspection and quarantine of agricultural products.
China.
Yes, China. And yes, and then someone else here, Richard Evans, is saying, I think you need to review agricultural product fine in Africa, export-wise gone. And he's just saying that we need to take a look at the UK and our food imports. He's just supporting what I was saying, that our self-sufficiency is very low. We need to rise it up. Yes.
Like to 99%?
99%.
I don't think you can get to 100.
Yes.
There's no country that can get to 100.
Again, with our policies and with, I think something that hinders our government is bureaucracies.
Yes.
You do things the way they have been done for the longest time.
Yeah.
So if we do away with bureaucracies, believe you me, we will be at 99.8%. Yes.
0.8.
Nimekasirika. So Stephen is saying, where we have agricultural products in Africa, technology in Europe, China, America, and Canada need them as inputs. So here we develop sense of export and import. Nakasema kalas. Kaput. Okay?
Okay.
So he's saying in Kenya, we have the agricultural products.
Yes, we have the raw material.
And in Africa at large.
Yeah.
So in technology in Europe, China, America, and Canada need us as inputs. They need our raw materials, and they need the technology in Europe.
But that's being selfish in
Why?
some way. Because there's no way you can... I'm assuming, as much as we are complaining that farmers are being exploited by the aggregators, if Europe was really caring, as most of the donations come from the global north, and if they have those equipments, they should bring them to Africa, come and help us process the produce and then now go and sell the finished product in their whatever, in their respective countries.
Actually, speaking of that, I don't think they are the problem per se. I know of someone, you know, the way you know of someone,
Yes.
you know that chain, you
Yes,
unatafuta na mathematics table. I know of someone who wanted to buy farm machinery from another country.
Yes.
It is very cheap and affordable,
Yes.
and you buy. But once it gets to the port, the taxation is so high. It is very high.
Yeah. Now I get.
You get. So you want to buy it, and you're able to buy it, but the tax is too much. So where are you going to get the profit from?
So probably there are politics involved in the export.
Exactly. You remember what we were saying about policies? Yes. That is something we need to look at. Because umenunua, you have come with it. But once you get there, the taxation, oh my.
So like we need really to put some few of the ministers and the PSs to task,
Yes.
the Ministry of Trade,
Yes.
the Ministry of ICT, and also the Ministry of Agriculture, because they shouldn't be allowing, like, if truly we are exporting maize, and unga, what is the price of unga right now in Kenya?
It is 200 and something.
Imagine 220 something Kenya shillings,
Yes.
and we can afford to export maize.
Yes.
There's a game being played somewhere
Exactly.
where we are not.
You remember what we said about bureaucracies and the cartels that have been there since the 1980. But if we don't have bureaucracies, then we cannot have these cartels. So if you make a decision, you move with it.
Yes.
We say we cannot just export maize and our people are hungry. Okay. Right now people, and actually schools have been closed right now. So you cannot buy a packet of unga reduce the taxation for the machinery.
Yes.
Because if we get good machinery in Kenya, then we're good
Because
with
you can
farming.
imagine if you're importing this kind of machinery and you'll still be paying taxes at the end of.
You will at the end of every month.
Yeah.
Yes, tax
Why-
returns.
Why charge high duties for such machinery?
I wouldn't know why it's charged that highly, but I know that it is quite high.
Yeah.
So it is, you find it very difficult. Sasa itabidi, you just go to the jua kali person, mwambie, nataka, you just tell him your idea. I want a machine.
Really have any kind of fruits that can be gotten from Europe that you can eat in Africa?
They have.
But
But
I'm
I
imagining the price.
Yes. The price. And again, I would like to say they test as well. They don't test as well as they do. wewe utajua tu changamoto. Like seriously, inaonja changamoto. It has no taste. It has no taste. So you see, if you have been to Africa and you taste the food, believe you me, you would want to buy it over and over again.
Yes,
Yeah.
very interesting. We'll be taking a short break just to pay some more bills, but do stay with us as we'll be back shortly with more from the local and international news stories that we are receiving at this hour. We also we have explored the export, mostly the export market. Now we want to take a look also at the import market. What is Kenya importing and which countries do we import from? So do stay with us. We'll be back shortly. And welcome back to the Evening Farm Drive with me, Jackie Moore, and I'm with one sweet lady here called Christine. Christine, by the way, which is your favorite meal?
Meal. Ile kitu sikulangi ni msumari.
Ukipewa nini chameleon unakula tu?
We. No, not really. But basically, I think I love ndoma. A mixture of ndoma and some waru and meat.
Sour.
That one. And don't eat it there and then. Wait for it in the morning. Oh my God.
The one that has slept.
Oh my God.
With tea. Some hot.
Yes. And also, there's a day we were discussing and you told me you have never tasted mchunga.
I don't know mchunga. What is
Mchunga,
this in
it's... I don't know the name, but
how does it look like?
It has thin leaves, long one, green leaves, and once you cut it, it has like a milky substance. People mostly people mostly give it to rabbits. It's very good for rabbits, but again for humans, it has a bitter taste.
Okay.
But it's good, and my mom tells me it cures malaria. So yeah,
So it cures. It's a preventive kind of, or is it medicinal?
It's medicinal. It has medicinal value.
I'll go Google it.
Mchunga. Mchunga.
Audience, if you know mchunga, kindly comment.
You want me to tell it to you in
Facebook.
Kamba? Odonga.
Odonga.
Yes, that one.
Please, Kamba people, tell us. Tell us what odonga is.
Yes, that one.
It's eaten like that.
No, you actually boil it. You have to really boil it, and then you wash it with cold water. After boiling, wash it with cold water.
Immediately.
You can do it immediately or later on. Depends on how bitter you want it, because it's very bitter.
So
it's really bitter.
The longer you boil it, the bitter it becomes.
No, the less bitter it becomes.
Okay.
Yeah. And once you pluck it, you pick it, even your fingers, they're kind of
Very
sticky.
sticky.
Yes, because of the milky substance.
Okay.
Yes.
It grows in the wild.
Yeah.
Eh,
Yes.
These traditions.
And the last time I was home, because it has just rained, it was very soft and very sweet. I actually ate
You're
it.
going home soon. You bring us some.
I can actually I can tell them, wekeni kwa matatu.
Si watu weke maembe basi.
You see, you don't want mchunga, you want mangoes.
No, I can try to taste the odunga, but then.
But maybe
mangoes.
I cook it and bring it for you.
Yes.
You taste it. Okay, it's very bitter,
I hope
but
it is
very
not
sweet.
bitter.
It is sweet. It is very sweet.
So what is, apart from just eating it like that, what else can it make? What kind of food? Can it be cooked in vegetables or porridge? Or?
No. Just you, because it needs cooking oil and a lot of onions.
Oh.
So you bring out the taste. You have to fry it afterwards, and it's...
So you eat it with what? Rice?
Ugali. Goes very well with ugali.
You know what I'm imagining in my head?
Yes.
Something that looks like aloe vera.
No, aloe vera is very succulent. You see, aloe vera is succulent. That is, it just looks like the normal mboga.
So you tell them to put in the matatu. You go and cook today because you refuse to take me somewhere.
I didn't refuse. I am taking you somewhere, believe you me.
Yes. So there's this campaign you're running on aflatoxins and its effects on some of the crops such as peanuts. And did you know that aflatoxins also affect peanuts?
Peanuts?
Yes.
I didn't know.
And so this campaign we are running, we will be creating awareness on aflatoxins on various crops, its effects, how it comes about to the crops. Because what we've learned is that most of the aflatoxin emanates from the soil. So that's why we are encouraging people to practice soil testing, even from storage, how you store your crops, the kind of temperatures that is required. Because, when I was young, I used to wonder, every day my mom would wake up. We used to have like granaries of maize.
Yes.
So they used to wake up every morning, put them outside in the sun, get the sun like for the whole day, then take them back to the granary. And I was like, why are you doing all this?
Yes, they have to.
Do they still do that in the village?
Yes, they do. And I actually thought that aflatoxins comes from the storage process.
No.
Apparently.
It's actually from soil. And even when your crops are affected by aflatoxins, you're not supposed to put them back to the soil because they don't die. They remain in the soil.
Okay.
So even when you put the other crop, it simply takes up that aflatoxin.
Wow, that is new information.
So we'll be training farmers, working through with the farmers, telling them the correct ways of dealing with aflatoxins in your crops, how to get rid of the aflatoxin, how to even maintain your crop, watch it throughout the drying process until it's processed and and taken to the market. Because there are most milling companies, the challenge they usually have when they receive maize, but this time you're not focusing on maize in the campaign. When they receive maize, most of it is usually rejected because of
aflatoxins. Wow.
And aflatoxins are poisonous.
Very poisonous. I know. I remember when we have like a big mat that we put and you put all the maize, so everyone is carrying at home. you have to do that work. Believe you me, if you have an African mother, some things you will never stop doing.
But me, the good thing is I'm the last one in my family, so I used to be given the tiniest of sacks to carry, like about 10 maize cobs.
Apparently, I was the last born, but I was a bit plump at that time. So I used to say, you're the last born, but you look like you have big energy. And I like
have a lot of energy.
Yes, I loved doing that. You'd find me pulling the sack. In as much as I cannot carry, I am pulling. So I'm trying to work. Yes, and then there comes the part where you have to spread. I would go in with my feet. That was the best.
With your feet.
With my feet. That was the best
Can you
part.
imagine the things you eat? Are your feet clean? Did you even wash them?
They used to wash the maize before they put the...
You cannot wash maize. That's what you're talking about. They need
before they cook.
They need to be moist.
If they don't...
When you're taking them to the nini...
To the what?
The posho mill. Do you wash them?
Oh, yes, my mom used to wash, dry.
You cannot wash maize.
And then pick. She used to do that in small batches until it gets to a gunia. Then they would be taken to the posho mill.
Why? Would the .com ladies do that?
Who?
This generation.
For who?
The era.
For who? For where?
Ati for where?
For what?
The imported unga.
Yes.
Eh,
We like the pure one, the one that is white, very white. Yes.
Okay. Sawa.
Speaking of which, Jackie, I can just say here that this is news coming in that the Network of African Science Academies, in partnership with the Kenya National Academy of Sciences, want the states to embrace GMOs.
Why?
According to them, they do not pose any risk to human beings, animals, and the environment.
Do they have a consortium? Did they leave their contacts there? A Farmers Media is looking for them. Ati, they're called who?
They're called the Network of African Science Academies,
Network of African Science Academies.
in partnership with Kenya National Academy of Sciences.
Wait, African Science Academy.
Yes. National Academy of Sciences
Mm-hmm.
and the Kenya National Academy of Sciences and the African Science Academies.
Okay.
And they want African countries
No.
to embrace GMOs. And according to them,
Have they talked to Museveni and Kagame of Uganda and Rwanda?
and according to them, food from GMO is digested in the body the same as food from non-GMO crops.
Can they confirm? Where is the toxicological analysis? Bring the toxico. No, don't. They should come with facts. Don't go and do your research on pigs and rats and then come and say these things have no effect on humans. Come with the research. Let us see it.
And that reminds me, you remember the late the late president of Tanzania during the COVID pandemic.
Yeah.
He said that they tested papaya and blood from, I don't know, was it a goat or a condor, and it tested positive.
To
COVID.
papaya.
Yeah.
So, okay.
I don't know about
throw me
that.
under the bus. What about
I'm sorry.
papaya?
I don't know. He said that they were just giving different samples to ascertain if really there is COVID in Africa.
So why use papaya? Why not just humans?
He said that he was giving different samples
come
to
think
prove.
of it, does COVID affect livestock?
I don't know. From that time, it really gave me food for thought because I was thinking papaya.
Because I'm assuming the same air we breathe is the same air the livestock
They do,
breathe.
yes.
Okay, that's interesting.
And
We need
sometimes,
to do a show on
and
that.
sometimes we are in the same area because you've been told to go and open the goats and then you take them to the shade
Yes.
and you live in the same area.
Yes.
So you have the same ecosystem. Let's just say that.
Yes.
Because you are in the same place for very long periods of time. Yeah.
Okay, interesting. That one is one. You've given me an idea for next week. Okay.
And I'm writing you the invoice for that.
No
for that
problem.
idea.
No problem. It's
Yeah?
a month. No problem.
Yes, so now these two companies are saying that African countries should embrace GMOs.
And I'm asking.
They are being digested the same way.
I'm asking. Have they talked to Museveni and Kagame of Uganda and Rwanda?
Why? What do you think they will say?
A big no. And just tell
Why?
them to continue staying in their labs and conducting their researches.
And actually, they are adding that the National Biosafety of Kenya is very up to task in ensuring that the crop is good quality for human consumption.
We look for Roy Mugira, the CEO of the National Biosafety
Biosafety,
of Kenya,
of course.
and we'll get to have him respond to all the
Definitely.
queries that we've been receiving on
Definitely.
GMO. Yes. What is the other trending story?
We have a farmer here, 66-year-old. He was unemployed for a long time, but now he is reaping the benefits of agriculture.
Through
yes.
what farming? Mutudanganyeni tuwasikie.
Apana, tutadanganya, we will try. And now this is a man from Migori, and he actually quit his job, and he retired to the village, and right now he holds a master's of degree in economics, and he has a very good experience, but now he is farming sorghum.
Okay.
sorghum, and he has 1.5 acres piece of land of the crop. Yes.
So sorghum has a lot of money.
Right now he's making good money.
So I should,
Good money.
so I should try venturing into sorghum farming. Kuna venye
You want to
kuwa
try?
millionaire.
Research. Research. Research.
On that note, there's a fun fact I have here about goats. And it says goats are great companions of other farm animals, including horses, cows, and chickens.
Horses, cows.
Goats are a great companion for other animals, including horses, cows, and chicken. But the goats, they never disturb people.
No, they don't.
When I usually see people who work with them, even here in Kajiado County, they are livestock keepers. Goats, once they get that shrub where they're interested in, they'll just focus on moving
Eating
away
it,
from the thorn, and they just eat the shrubs that they want.
The part that I don't like about goats is when they start running around and kicking everything. At home when I was small and I'm sent, please go and untie the goats. I'll come and they are pulling me. They are running very fast and I'm small, so I'm just it's a hassle.
Yeah.
But it's quite interesting that they are a good companion even to horses.
Do they even talk?
Can you imagine the height? Imagine a goat and a horse. You see the difference?
Yeah, but I'm imagining probably the horse has a lot of stress after running, being kicked to run.
Yeah.
So it comes and it looks at the goat just chewing the cud. I think it somehow relaxes the horse's mind.
Is the animal talk?
We need to have a show. We need to have a show. On animals.
Is there a way that they converse? Because if they're good companions, there must be something that pulls them together.
There should be a way. Because how even the Maasai people here, I know they usually keep sheep and goats.
Yes, they do.
And probably in just the same area, region, or
Of
space.
course.
How do they coexist?
Their coexistence, I think, is very good, but probably when they lock them up, they separate the sheep and the goat because of, the sheep, they like fighting.
Really?
And even some goats.
Really?
Yes.
Oh.
Yes.
The farm I visited, they were just in one space. And
Really?
I actually asked the farmer, don't this goat and sheep sometimes, and then you find another breed? And he was like, no. The sheep know their family and the goats know their family.
Yes, but again, I have seen some sheep with like a cloth, a long one, and it's put there so that they can no longer reproduce. Yes.
Yeah.
Because now they don't want this breed. It has reproduced so many times, so they want a different breed. So it's just a cloth is put. It's like, I don't know. It looks funny, but I didn't know the purpose until I was told that.
Yeah.
Yes.
And on that note, I know there's a farmer that I know who does dopa sheep farming. He actually imports dopa sheep from South Africa. And he was like, the reason why he wants to put up a breeder farm. That's a nice way of...
Very nice.
Yeah.
Very nice.
But then he told me it's a very tedious process because he himself has never been to South Africa. So he deals with agents. Sometimes you can be conned.
Oh, yes.
And it's not very little money.
The con artists you were speaking about.
Those policies we were talking about, because there is no way you can bring another animal into the country without notifying the government. So it's a tedious kind of thing, but you should see the sheep. They are very beautiful.
They're beautiful.
Very beautiful.
I can only imagine. And they have big wool.
Wool, and he usually keeps them very clean, like no ticks.
Yes. Now that I would love to see. That I would love to see.
Yeah, we will try and get him in some of our shows just for him to explain why he chose to go for the dopa sheep.
Yes. Wow.
So which other agricultural products do you know that Kenya imports?
Importing. Oh, I know of if we look at some of the agriculture, we have palm oil. And I don't know why we have to import palm oil, but maybe from other African countries like Nigeria, they have a lot of palm oil.
And palm oil is very nice.
Very.
I think it doesn't have like those fatty content, the fatty acids.
No, it doesn't. It's very good. So we have palm oil, we have, but maybe we look at the transportation. You remember we were talking about the machinery and the equipment, petroleum items, motor vehicles, iron, resins, and plastics.
Plastics. Who does that? We no longer do plastic. We no longer do plastic.
Yes. I don't know why we do, but Kenya primary import partners are India, China, United Arab Emirates, South Africa, US, and Japan. Okay?
China is not there.
China is not here.
China
is here.
Oh, China
We have
there.
India, China, Arab Emirates, South Africa, United States, and Japan. China must be there, you know.
Japan probably because of the vehicles. China because of the phones.
Phones, yes.
The Mokio.
And right now, not really agriculture, but smart homes. You've seen smart homes nowadays, artificial intelligence items, mostly from China. Yeah.
But for the crops, the agricultural crops, I've seen rice and some cereals.
Yes, we have rice. Rice.
But why would we import rice? And I hear there's a lot of rice in Mwea and parts of Kisumu. Or is it's not sufficient?
Right now, I think probably because you remember there was a dam that was commissioned and it's going to help farmers in Mwea to plant more rice. I think that. And again, I don't know why we have. And right now we have so many types of rice.
Yeah.
So many.
That's the reason why I'm asking, why are we importing? Because why would you import rice from Pakistan and we have pishori
exactly
in Kenya?
I don't think it's a good idea, but again, I think also I like it. It's good. It's
Which
not
one? Pakistan?
Pakistan.
No. The one that cooks, it becomes so big, like now it's the real...
Now you see that one, if you have 5 or 10 children, what are you going to do?
So you're just eating to get full. Not to get the nutritional content.
Sometimes people just look at how am I going to feed my family, not really the nutritional value. Okay? But imagine now you have so many people. What are you going to do?
See, like you can eat this thing you told me, odunga, and then you go to the portion mill and just siaga your own unga and eat.
No.
Why feed this odunga is nutritious. It has the nutritional content.
It's very nutritious, by the way. It's very nutritious, and you feel good after you've eaten it.
It like makes you happy.
No, really no.
You get satisfied.
It's satisfying, and then right now we have mchicha. It's just out there because of the rain.
Mchicha and I've missed mchicha.
Yes, you should try from our area now. The small ones, very green and very soft.
Nice.
Yes.
We go to your place.
Come, you're welcome.
This weekend.
You're very welcome. We also import, imagine Kenya imports mainly maize and milled wheat. We have wheat flour, rice, and sugar. And these goods come from Uganda, South Africa, European countries, India, and the US.
We don't have enough wheat, because I've been to various places in this country, and there's large-scale farming of wheat and maize.
Yes. Imagine maize and again sugar. Imagine sugar, and we have industries that have been closed down because of politics. Politicizing the sugar industry. Yes.
No. We shouldn't. Now there, I get your point where you're coming from when you are talking about sufficiency and...
Yes, and dependency. Yes. Import dependency and self-sufficiency. You see, those are the things we need to look at, because these are not things that we cannot afford. I mean, if we imagine exporting maize to import more maize.
No.
Why would you do that?
There is a game that is being played behind the scenes.
Exactly. And that is a big problem. And I don't think we should even be having, if we were self-sufficient, then this means that even if we choose to embrace GMO, or we educate people on the advantages of having GMO, then we should have policies in line as well. Value addition. Yes, we will bring in GMO products, but then how are we going to benefit from that? What is the long-term solution? Because why are we importing maize?
we'll question that in more in the breakfast show,
Yeah.
probably Monday or Tuesday, and we'll get the CS of Agriculture.
Why are we
to
importing sugar?
tell us?
Why are we importing sugar?
Mhm.
I mean, why?
And it's not even from
Nzoia
far.
sugar, Mumia's sugar.
Yes, it's not even from far.
Yes.
It's just Uganda.
Uganda.
And its neighbors, they're just there at the border.
Imagine. And if you look at the stock exchange, the rates of the exchange rates of money, look at Uganda and Kenya. Okay, so why are we doing why are we not self-sufficient? Yes, we need the other countries in order to survive, but I think we should be at a point where I'm sorry to say this, but I like in a relationship where someone loves me more than I love them. I don't know if you get the point.
You'll wait, Sana.
I have.
Wait.
Where you know.
You'll wait, Sana.
Usichome.
There's no way someone will love you.
Oh no,
More
there
than
are
they
ways
love
you can. There are ways you can do that. So I think we should be in a state where they need us more than we need them, in terms of our raw materials. Let us be in a position where, yes, we need you, but we will get back to you when we need you.
Yes,
Get that point.
exactly.
You
Well said, well put.
Yes, not really that please give us maize, please give us food, we need funding, we need this.
You cannot
get
keep borrowing and asking all the time.
exactly. And you said something about untapped potential.
Yes.
But let us not also exaggerate that untapped potential, because kuna mtu utaambia miti inauzwa USA.
Aende akate zake zote.
Utapata una shamba. Yani utaamka hivi and you can see mpaka sokoni, you can see the market.
Your trees have been cut down.
Exactly.
Kabisa.
Exactly.
Ati kuna soko ya nini mahali
Exactly.
nimesikia.
Exactly. And the issues of import ndo utapata we have sugar yenye iko na mercury.
Yes. Imagine. Sijui kawa gate yenye ya watoto pia ilikuwa na mercury, nilisikianga kitu kama hiyo.
So you see those issues. And then we have the greedy lot now. You've been told iskari ni mbaya, chomeni.
Wapi? Nani?
Hey, for who? For where?
Tukutane nyuma ya tent.
Hey, no, we
Wait,
cannot do that.
It's not possible. But as much as you're talking about the import and export untapped potential, I think we should also, apart from just looking at the negatives, we should also encourage it in some way. Like you've said, it needs to have it needs to be intentional.
Yes.
Why are we really importing? Is
Yes.
it that we don't have, or why are we exporting? Is it that we have a surplus? Because we don't need to export maize, and we don't have maize.
You export in order to import.
But then there's that issue of having the bilateral relations
Yes.
between countries.
Yes.
How should we go about it then? Because if we say probably this country is not sufficient in the maize production, and
Yes.
they've seen we have, and us ourselves we are holding it, like we are waiting for better prices in our country. So how should we go about this whole import and export opportunities?
I think that is issue for discussion, because we need to look at borrowing, because I am sure we have just, let's say it's a matter of exchange. Some maize in Kenya might be different from the maize in Uganda.
Yes.
So we're not doing it because we do not have it. We're doing it to even better our plans. Okay? We just need to exchange and see how it works. It's like barter trade. Or we don't have maize, but you people we have a lot of rice, and Uganda has a lot of maize. So let them give us maize and we give them rice. So in order to ensure that we have good relations, we have coexistence, we also need to coexist, we need good diplomacy. Okay, so that we don't start fighting and scrambling for things like fish in the lake. This is our part, no, this is our part. This is no. So that we ensure that we coexist. We know that we depend on this other country, but not at a bigger percentage, at a small percentage. We depend on Nigeria to give us palm oil, to give us oil. Because you see, oil producing and exporting countries, they determine the rates of oil and petroleum in the whole world.
Really?
Yes.
Hey, Okay.
Yes.
Research.
Scientist.
Yes. Thank you so much, Christine, for making time to be with us for the evening farm drive today. It was just a chilled kind of conversation.
Yeah.
Because you have just started a new month and yeah, we are heading into the weekend, so we didn't want to go into the weekend with a bang.
No, we are switching on party mode.
And it is my, it's end month. Sasa tukienda na kierere.
Well, kierere yako
unasema ati mapema ni best.
Mapema ndio best.
Utashtuka huko mbele.
Kwa hivyo later ndio best.
Acha tuseme tu best ni mapema.
Sawa tu, acha nikubali.
Best ni mapema.
Yes.
Yes. Thank you so much, guys, for tuning in and for the comments that you've shared with us on our social platforms. Remember, we are always live on Facebook at Farmers Media. We are also live on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn. Do share your thoughts and comments with us. If you also want to be featured in any of our shows, do post a comment on this link that we've shared on our social media handle, and we will sure get back to you. And if you want to be featured, we can also feature you in next week's shows. We'll be talking about soil. As you know, the 5th of December is International Soils Day, and the theme is soil is the beginning of food.
Food, yes.
So like the food we eat is soil.
Like soil is the mother of, it gives birth to the food now. Yeah, so soil is our basis. We depend on soil to have food.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, interesting. Yes, so this has been the evening farm drive. We'll be heading out to the Athi Holiday Resort, as we shared with you. It's one of the places that you wouldn't want to miss. There's a lot. If the scenery, there's a place where children can play. Right now, you know, it's during the holidays. Children can play.
Is there Wi-Fi?
There's Wi-Fi.
Thank you.
Which resort?
Thank you. There's Wi-Fi.
You're almost making me a stammerer.
Yes. I'm sorry.
There's a play area for the children. There's some nice smoothies, as you can see. Some hot tea, chocolate. There's some juice if you like. The conference facilities, and even the.
Will I get a chance to swing in the children's area? Cause
no. You are overweight.
Maliza show. Twende home.
You can go into the.
Twende home. Twende home.
But yeah, it's the holiday season, so Athi Holiday Resort is the place to be. Ukikosa hiyo utachekwa. Na kuna nyama choma na leo ni Friday. It's the weekend mode. So yes,
party mode is on.
Party mode ndio hii imeanza saa.
Yes.
Please don't call me. I'm heading to Athi Holiday Resort.
Yes.
So yes, guys, do have yourselves a lovely weekend. I've been your host, Jackie Mo, and
Christine Mutindi. Bye-bye.
Bye.
John